Hi everybody, and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. On this video, you'll get a post from Am I the A-hole with an update and one from Malicious Compliance. So if you want to get started with the stories, then just use the timestamps below the video. Now I'd like to thank all of you that support me as either YouTube members, Twitch subscribers, or even donating during the live streams. Your support means a lot to me, so thank you very much. And if this is the first time watching one of my videos and you like it, then consider subscribing to the channel and joining us on Discord. Now let's get started with today's stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's from user Angry Mom Tummy Tuck. Am I the a-hole for being angry at my husband for spending my tummy tuck money? My husband, 37, and I, 35, have been together for just over 11 years. We have 3 beautiful children. Before we were engaged, we talked about having babies. I said I always wanted to be a mom, but I will be getting the mummy makeover package after I'm done. This is a tummy tuck and possible breast lift. I was very clear that I would want us to start saving as soon as I was pregnant with the first baby. First pregnancy hits, and it hits hard, and true to our promise, we start saving. After my first child was born, we found out my abdominal muscles had separated and needed to be repaired surgically. This is essentially a tummy tuck. Since giving birth to my first, I have experienced horrible back pain and back spasms due to the separation, but we wait and had 2 more babies. My youngest is now almost 1 year old, so I brought up the surgery to my husband. He asked me if I was sure I wanted the surgery. Lol, yes, I am very sure. He asks me why I want it, which I found insane since I have been talking about it for 8 years straight. I told him, 1, I look pregnant all the time due to the separation and I hate it. It makes me feel awful and sad. And 2, the pain was getting unbearable, even with therapy. Well, he tells me I'm being very vain and that he doesn't think I should have it. He completely ignored the pain part. I start to get confused and ask to see the account where it's being saved. To clarify, we are both on this account, but it was never linked to my online banking. I saw the balance last month at 15,000. He became silent and left the house. I was very confused, so I called up the bank. They told me the account had under 1,000 left. I burst into hysterical tears and called my husband. He answered and didn't say anything. I unload on him about being betrayed by the person I trust the most in the world and ask where the hell the money went. He said he was under a lot of stress with the kids. I am a stay-at-home mom and do everything, so he wanted to treat himself and bought a computer for his office. I told him not to come home, and he hasn't yet. The thing is, he is an excellent daddy and husband, and this is very out of the blue. It has made me so upset that I texted him I wanted a divorce since I seem to not matter. He texted me back saying no divorce, but it was his money anyway. This has damaged us to a level I never thought we could get to. My mother-in-law called me and told me to kick him out, but my own family, especially mother, is saying she's very disappointed in me and thinks I am vain and shallow. I just want to look normal and play with my babies with no pain. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely unequivocally not. OP, you are not the a-hole. You two had an agreement. You two saved for something, a goal that you both set together, and he took that money without informing you. That is a betrayal. Now, that excuse he gave about it being his money anyway because he has the job and you're a stay-at-home mom is such BS. And on this point, here's my unpopular opinion. I believe a marriage is a partnership. It is a unity between 2 people. If the couple reach the agreement that one of them stops working and making an income from an outside job in order to take care of the house, then the income from the partner that is working, I believe, becomes a household income. Not one individual's income and then giving the other spouse an allowance. What do you guys think? What is your judgment in this situation? Let me know your opinion in the comment section, and now let's move on with the community comments to see their judgment. Sir Punchy says, not the a-hole. Of course you have every right to be mad. That was a colossal D move. But how about you show a little common sense and stop taking advice from strangers on the internet so seriously after posting a 400-word anecdote just 2 hours ago? They don't know crap about you, your husband, your relationship, or your family. Frankly, I can't believe the mods are allowing this madness. Take the time to be furious, then take the time to consider your options like an adult. Stop letting kiddies feed into your confirmation bias while you're still fuming. Side note, this next comment does not have a response from OP, but I found a response from OP to a previously deleted comment that fits this one. So I put them together. Nathan Foeni says, "You're the a-hole. If you're a stay-at-home mom, then how are you entitled to his money? Why don't you work instead of saving your husband's hard-earned money? The nerve of you. It's easy to ask for all the money to be separate equally when all of it comes from him and none from you." OP responds, "Before having children, I was making almost 90,000 more than him. I was well established and he just got out of school, so it made sense. In the years since, he has just recently caught up to my old salary. The house, the cars, and cottage were purchased with mainly my money. The savings, however, was his salary. Regardless of any of that information, it is our money. If your thinking is true, then I should kick him out of my house, repossess my car, hire a nanny, and get back to work. We made life choices together. The reason why I'm considering divorce is because I suspect he thinks like you do, and that is not the case." Slurav says, "Not the a-hole. Also, as others have said, it's highly unlikely that he spent all 14,000 on a computer. Not impossible if he purchased a top-notch custom gaming computer, but very, very unlikely. I think you need to figure out exactly where this money went. And I'd start by demanding to see, in person, this supposed insanely priced computer. And if by some miracle he actually does have it, I'm not saying it'll fix everything or even anything, but if he's even remotely sorry, he can start by selling it and giving the money back to you. It's the least he can do." Edit to add, he said he thought I didn't want it anymore since I haven't talked about it in a few months, and he thought I'd never realize. And he has seen me struggle with the pain for years and has taken me to every therapy appointment. Also, the money was transferred to his sole account, I have one too, for fun money. We transfer the equal amounts to each of us when we can. I cannot see the transactions after the transfer. Another edit. He texted me, "I am so sorry, honey. I lost my mind for no reason at all. When I married you, I said in sickness and in health, and I broke that promise. The money is sitting in my account still, and I will move it back tomorrow morning as soon as I can. We talked about the recovery time for surgery and the time I needed to take off to watch the kids and run the house. It has made me panic a great deal, so I moved it thinking you wouldn't mind me spending it, and we just save up again. I did it out of panic and frustration and did not expect you to find out so soon. I planned on returning it and telling you what I did and why. I understand if you want a divorce and to leave me behind. I am staying with Nathaniel tonight, sweetheart. Rest and I will fix it all tomorrow, I promise you. You will have the surgery you wanted. I am a selfish, stupid man, and I hope you can forgive me." For the first time in my relationship with this man, I don't believe an effing word he wrote. He always told me I had it easy not working, and now he's saying he can't handle a week in my shoes? I feel ice cold towards my husband, and it is a sick feeling. My dad and aunt, police officer, are coming to stay the night. I will think long and hard about this relationship and everything I read here. Thank you everyone. I think that concludes this post. And that's what we have regarding community comments and OP's edit with more information. Now regarding the comments, this post was set on contest mode, which means that there are no upvote points and comments are ordered randomly. So I tried to pick comments out that would give different perspectives on this topic. And now is the time when we move on with the update to this post. Hi everyone, before I update, I just wanted to sincerely thank everyone who messaged me with support and advice. I could not believe it and felt so understood and not alone. People don't understand how isolating being a stay-at-home parent can really be. especially when you're used to working an office job with lots of coworkers and friends. Staying home plus the pandemic had me feeling a bit crazy, lol. For the update, I got the money back the same day. It's sitting in my Soul account ready to go. Thank you to everyone who messaged me with information about the procedure. It was so stinking helpful. I now have a realistic timeline set and realistic understanding about recovery. Now, as I was reading and replying to comments, I was getting more and more engrossed in my anger. When my dad arrived, I think he saw I was turning absolutely rabid. He took my phone, turned it off, and told me to take a minute and breathe. I sat for hours thinking about what everyone said and finally realized how out of character this was and that something was deeply wrong. I finally went to sleep. Around 3 a.m. I woke up, grabbed my phone, and told my husband to get his ass home. When he arrived, he walked in straight for me and hugged me. We hugged for a good 5 minutes. After that, he apologized, and we both cried. When he finally gave his side of the story, I was dumbfounded. He said he took the money because 1. He was afraid that I was going to get seriously injured and die during the surgery and be alone. 2. That I would be way out of his league afterwards and leave him. 3. That I'd see what a crappy husband and father he was when he had to run the household and that our kids would love him less. All in all, he had a big mental breakdown. I understood where he was coming from, but I was, and still am, royally pissed off. I told him if he needed surgery for his back one day, very possible, and was in a lot of pain, how would he feel if I said he couldn't have it because of insert flimsy selfish excuses that have nothing to do with it? He didn't have an answer for that and just kept apologizing. I told him I would be contacting my old friends from work and looking for a job to make my own money, since what he earns is apparently his. He broke down in tears again after that, but I was too angry again to address it. I told him to log into his banking right now or I would never trust him again. We logged in and he printed out last year's worth of transactions. I recognized 90% of them. The rest was random Amazon, Walmart, PlayStation, and so on purchases. I told him to log into his credit history profile. He only has our joint accounts and his Soul account. My mind was put at ease. The next day, I contacted my old firm and was surprised to find out my friend was the senior manager of the department. I trained him. We chatted for a bit and he said if I get my certifications up to date by the end of the year, he would have a role for me by early mid-2021. I used to be a forensic accountant back in the day and I loved my job. I am very excited about this possibility. After I told my husband, he was very sad. He told me he wants to get a post-nup where it says if we divorce, I would get more than 50% of all assets. Everything is in our joint names. He said he couldn't even make it up to me, but he hopes that would give me the peace of mind to choose to go back to work or continue staying at home. I'll have to think about it. As a side note, my salary would be higher than his again, and I'm currently taking great joy in telling him all the things I can do with my money. Petty, I know. Lol, I'm working on it. We have a lot of work to do for our marriage now, but I am happy to report we aren't divorcing anytime soon. He is profoundly sorry, and I am slowly accepting it. I do regress here and there, admittedly. We are signed up for couples therapy in a few weeks' time. I can't picture my life without his stupid face in it, so I'm hoping for the best. Thank you, Reddit, for all your support and love. Satisfying edit. Forgot to mention that my mother showed up the night we were fighting, to apparently scold me, I guess. But my dad opened the door and tore into her. I did not know this, but my mother has had a few procedures done. My aunt and dad told her off good, and she left screaming like a banshee. We haven't spoken since, and I think I'll be taking some space from her. Well, I feel like this is a happy ending with a redemption. Most of all, I'm happy for the kids because their parents aren't going to break up, so I think that's a positive. And OP is right, there is a lot they need to work in the relationship, particularly communication and confidence. And regarding OP going back to work, I think it's absolutely the right call. if they don't plan on having any more children and they can still both parent the kids so that they don't feel alone, with childcare of course, then I see no reason why OP can't go back to the workforce. That's great for her. Congratulations, OP. So on that positive note, let's move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's from user Joel the Connor. You want to book the hotel? Sure thing, babe. My wonderful family of 4 is on a trip to visit family and friends. 4 years ago, on a trip with the same itinerary as this one, I, husband, booked our hotel as I usually do. I am what you would describe as thrifty, and I don't like spending a ton on hotels when we are basically just sleeping there. The hotel I booked for this leg of the journey was probably not the most high class, and sure, it was not in the safest area of town. This was definitely a hotel where some acts of questionable legality and morality occur. In my defense, it was a very last-minute booking as we were supposed to be staying with family and there were very few options available under $150 a night. The stay there ended up being fine, but it has been a long-running joke between us for the past 4 years. We are now visiting for the first time in 4 years. We went to book the hotel and my wife said, "No way, it's my hometown and I am doing it this time." So she pulls up your old Priceline and starts looking at places, specifically looking for a place with a pool for the littles. She looks at one, reads the reviews and details and says it looks good, especially for the lower price. She even calls to make sure the pool is open because of COVID. I look at the photos and look back at her thinking she was making a joke. She was not. I just smiled and said, "Whatever you think, babe." Yep, you know what's coming. As we approach the hotel, I see a look of confusion slowly wash over her face. She says, "Wait, is this?" and trails off. I reply with a resounding, "Yep, it sure is." She booked us the exact same hotel that she has been griefing me about for 4 years. I laughed and laughed and laughed. She cannot believe she did it and also thinks it is hilarious. I am vindicated. OP's edit. Thanks for all the comments and awards. Glad this could bring you so much joy. Just finally told her that I posted it and people are loving it, and she wanted to thank you all for helping me revel in my rare opportunity of getting one over her, because that is a rare occurrence with us. Pro tip, always marry someone smarter than you. Well, OP, like you say, you were vindicated. Your wife's face while approaching the hotel must have been priceless. I'm glad you guys are having a good time with this. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.